Do you have a burning desire to start your own healing, transformation, coaching, and consulting practice? If so, stick around because we're going to go deep into this topic today. Welcome, extraordinaries, to another exciting episode of the High Performance Consciousness podcast. My name is Matthew Patty, and again, I will be your host for today's show. So, today's question actually has been asked many times to me that I've heard over the last 2 decades. How do I start a business? How do I start coaching or healing or transformation? How do I start to help people and move the needle on their life, and in doing so, reap the rewards, the fulfillment, the encouragement, the significance, the income, the movement, the service, whatever it may be? How do I do that? So in this episode, I'm just going to cover a couple of basics for you to consider, because quite typically we will arrive at a point of decision where it's saying, yep, I want to run my own business, or I want to set up my own little practice of coaching or healing or transformation or health, wellness, whatever it may be. And the moment we make that decision, we want to lean in just as fast to taking action. And this is where some of the stumbling blocks arise. Because of all the people in coaching and consulting, there is a lot of people with great serviceability, great ideas, big hearts, incredible talent, and genius zones for serving and helping other people grow their life and their business. But they fail. They fail to win. They fail to reach their targets and to become fulfilled or experience fulfillment, whether it's via income or the level of service or impact or influence, within the first 3 years. So the first 3 years, typically 85+% of coaches fall back out of coaching. And why is that? It's because we lean in so quickly to the opportunity and we fail to do our homework. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about the one thing. I talk about the one thing a lot, and it is a golden thread that runs through a lot of the points that I'm going to make. That if you can draw a straight line between these points that I'm going to make in this episode, then you will dramatically increase the upside potential of you winning at the game of coaching, consulting, healing, wellness. Okay, so let's dive in. So you've arrived at the point where you want to do something more. Maybe you've worked for someone else, maybe you've been running a family for a while, and you're really saying, okay, now it's time to put some skills and talents to use. I want to help other people. So maybe you've been doing some courses, maybe you've had a grand awakening, and you've had this big packet, this download and packet of information that really you want to share with others. You want to help others. Let me tell you right up front, it's got nothing to do with the certification. You can have a degree, a master's, a PhD. You can have a weekend certification, an 8 weeks, a year-long program, whatever it is. It's got nothing to do with how much you are certified. You start your certification the moment you decide to do what you want to do. That's number one. More does not equal more. More certification does not equal more results, more money, more wins with clients, and a better life. That's my experience. So that's the first thing to get out of the way. Number two, well, I'm not going to go through all the numbers because I'm definitely going to lose track. I'll probably be up to 749 by the end of this and totally warp speed out of any conscious sort of conversation. Anyway, side note. The key here is to consider, who is the 1.0 version of you? Who is the 1.0 version of you? Before you start anything, where were you a week ago, 3 months ago, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years ago? What was your life like? What were you going through? What were your problems, your frustrations, your wants, your needs, your desires? What were your aspirations and inspirations? What is the 1.0 version of you? It's a critical point to understand. It's a critical point. So the 1.0 version of you is your target market. If you want to get going and you want to get going fast, you need to unpack the 1.0 version of you. You need to look at all the aspects of what you were going through before your big awakening, before you experienced a transformation or a change. Does that make sense? So unpack the 1.0 version of you. There's a tendency in coaching and healing and health and transformation that I need to speak to people where I'm at right now, rather than where they're at, which is typically where I was. Make sense? So unpack the 1.0 version. Understand who you were and what life was like for you and the pain points and your inspirations, what you wanted as a preferred reality over and above what you are currently experiencing. Now, key point here is a successful business takes a lot of different modalities, a lot of different factors. But if you can get it right, most of them right from the outset, you will understand that the 3 key points are this. For a successful coaching practice, you must love who you work with. Love them. Number 2, you must be able to get them a transformation. You must be able to help them in some way arrive fulfilled at some point in the future. Whether it's about a relationship thing, whether it's about a money thing, whether it's about a block or a health concern or a career, upgrade, whatever it's going to be. You must be able to help them. And number 3, you must be able to exchange value with them. They must be able to invest in themselves with you financially. If you've got, bent or warped money beliefs and you wholeheartedly reject money and it never comes up in your conversation and you never have a pain point around the lack thereof or whatever, then you're fairly clean around it. That's fine. There's another way to exchange. But if you reject the idea that you are valuable and that a value exchange is necessary for transformation to occur, and you still lie in bed awake every night worrying about whether you're going to pay the bills or whether there's going to be food on the table or whether you're going to be able to pay off debts and go on travel or be able to provide for your family or yourself, then you're kidding yourself. So, side note, just to be straight up with it, big distortions around money and coaching, big distortions around money and spirituality. We're going to go into that in another episode for sure. So you must love working with them. You must be able to get them a result, move them to a higher octave of experience, move them from where they are to where they want to be, or at least get them a portion of the way there. And they must be able to invest with you financially. They must invest in themselves financially with you. That's if we're basing a practice on monetary value. So once you've done the 1.0 version, you've gone through those 3 additional points there. Then you can start to look at it and say, right, what is the depth? What is the depth of transformation that I know I have experienced? If you've been at the depth of despair, suffering, pain, depression, anxiety, and somehow you found a way out, and looking back, joining the dots, you can see that there is a blueprint, there is a partial formula that can be unpacked. Then maybe that's part of what's going on deep within your client, deep within the niche. See, a lot of the coaches that I speak to on a weekly and monthly basis, they've got pain in their business, pain in their cash flow, and pain in their heart. They want to serve and they want to do things on their terms. They want to live life on their terms. But there are blocks and challenges along the way that are perceived as being in the way. The barriers to entry into Elysium, the barriers to entry into financial or abundance heaven. It's not them at all. There's a depth there that I do not feel aligned with what I'm sharing in the world. I feel like I'm pushing pawns around a chess table. A lot of people will not say that up front, but deep down, they don't feel aligned with what they're currently doing. So therefore, the alignment of energy is broken. Comes back to one thing. So if you are looking at the 1.0 version and you want to work with those people that are where you were, and you know you can help them, and you can price it accordingly based on the level of transformation and openly receive that for yourself, and then choose a niche. Could be mums, could be dads, business owners, women business owners, male business owners, whatever it may be, students, children, parents. What was your biggest problem in your 1.0 version? You need to look at the niche. Inch wide, mile deep, that's your niche. The riches are in the niches, or niches as they say. So, when you're looking at these things, then you are starting to paint a better picture rather than leaning into the market and saying, hey, I'm going to serve everyone and I'm going to be a generalist. I'm going to be a master. I'm going to be, capable of everything but a master of nothing. And in doing so, you will attract the same types of clients. Now, admittedly, when you first start out, you will want to explore and experiment and see where your edges are. You'll want to help people because that's your true nature. You want to serve. That's your true nature. But as long as you are aware that every single client presents an opportunity for you to grow, for you to use your awareness to say, hey, is this in alignment with my depth? Is this in alignment with their depth? Or am I just exchanging energy, exchanging ideas, exchanging value at a superficial level? And they walk away semi-satisfied, only to go walking into someone else's door or contacting someone else and signing up for someone else's program, because you did not speak to their depth. You did not speak to what they were really hungry for, the change they were really hungry to engage and to make happen. So your evolution as a coach, as a consultant, wellness practitioner, a healer, is all about raising your own bar. But if you know who you're speaking to, and then you can start to use the same language that you used in speaking to them through your posts, through your videos, through your emails, through general conversation with people, then you're going to speak specifically to the heart of a client. They're the ones. When you speak to someone and you speak to their heart, then truth and wisdom and decisions come from the heart. So we bypass the head. We get the head out of the way that says, I can't, I won't, it's not going to happen this way, or I'm not ready, it's not the right time, it's not for me. All this narrative that blocks progress and blocks growth and blocks transformation and essentially blocks you from growing your business. So get really clear before you take big leaps into the market and just wanting to, energetically vomit out all of your great ideas into the world. Get clear on who you want to serve. And that aspect of you is the 1.0 version of you. Speaking to them, make them genderless or make them male or female, whatever it may be, but speak to the problem. Speak to what they wanted rather than what they're currently experiencing. Speak to their depth. Because there are 3 conversations that people have. There's the known and the spoken about. These are the topics. There's the known and unspoken topics. And there's the unknown and unspoken topics. They're the ones that they walk around with all day long, not realizing that they're carrying around this baggage or this perspective or this belief or this block. Speak to those. If you can speak to all 3 of those levels, the known and spoken, the known and unspoken, the unknown and unspoken, then you have a clear, definable difference to everyone else out in the marketplace. And you use the language that is a motive language. A motive language. We speak directly to the heart. Yeah. So how you price your coaching, that's another conversation altogether. But if you currently have a coaching practice or a well-being practice, a consultancy practice, a healing practice, and it's been bouncing between a very shallow bandwidth of income, or the types of clients are sort of bouncing in and bouncing out, the types of clients that show up for psychic readings. They pay $50, $100, whatever, and they go and shop around from one to the next to the next. They just want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to do anything about it. That is a big generalized statement, but it's something that I've seen firsthand many, many times over the last 3 decades. So if you want people to shop around, you stop shopping around. Stop shopping around for the best client, the best win, the best angle in. Make a decision and speak specifically to the heart of the desire, specifically to the heart, the core, the soul of the client. If you're helping business owners, sure, they want to grow their business. They want more profit. They want a greater consistency in the cash flow that is rolling into their bank account and into their daily life. They want to serve people at a higher level. And in doing so, they will push harder and they will find new angles, new marketing strategies, new funnels, new websites, new joint ventures, new summits, new this, new that, all those sort of things, which are great. However, at the depth, behind every business owner is still a soul. Behind every business owner, there is still a depth that they carry with them into business every single day. Get the point? The point is, speak to the depth. Speak to the depth of the soul and the soul of your niche. Speak to their levels. What are they thinking? How are they feeling? What decisions have they made? What are they afraid? What decisions are they afraid to make? So I'm not a copywriter by any means. I like writing and I have a good go at it, but I do understand the soul. I do understand what drives people. I do understand that when you remove all the narrative and the noise, this superficial layer, what people say they want, what they really want is in the depth of communication, the depth of release or transformation. It does not matter if you're a marketer and you're selling someone a solution to get more traffic to their website or convert more leads into scheduled calls or whatever, you are still speaking to the soul of that business owner. Your packaging speaks to the soul of that result. Entirely new conversation, and it's a depth that is seldom visited in the world of marketing and media and social connection and business growth and empire building. Seldom. And you wonder why a great portion of people in business that fail to reach their own summit give up and do something else. Or they push on and say, yeah, I've been in business for 7 years. Really? How's that been for you? Oh, it's been okay. Yeah, I've stumbled along, tried some different things, spent a lot of money, haven't made a lot of money, or I've made some great money. And in making that great money, I haven't really been fulfilled because I've wanted to change all the time. I've wanted to keep changing my niche, changing my business plan, changing my products, my services, changing my offers, changing my marketing, my website. You know why? Because you're not in alignment with your true self. You're not in alignment with your true self. What you were in alignment with came to pass, and that's what you experienced. What you are now in alignment with is calling you to something deeper, calling you to something greater, calling you to somewhere higher. Get in alignment. It is not a rush. Those that rush to build businesses are doing so because they fear they will never arrive. Those that rush to build businesses and win clients and make more sales and increase their bank accounts, it's not a rush. It's not a rush. Because the rushed element of you says, I must do it in a certain time frame because I've spent so much time in lack and in void and the not havingness that I've had enough and I want it to change in an instant. It changes in an instant when you slip into alignment. You slip into alignment with the depth of your being and you speak to your market through the depth of your being, and there is no separation between who you are in business life and who you are in family or personal life, because you are a one solid being, one clear being with a one clear path, speaking to a certain type of people with a certain type of problem, getting them a certain type of result for a certain investment in themselves, because it lights you up. You must love what you do, and in doing what you love, you will see everything fall into place a lot faster. So from me here to wherever you are in the world, dream a better dream. And remember, it's all you, baby. It really is. See you in the field.